This video, I'll be showing you how to set up a test print and for 3D printers and set up in Prusa Slicer and get going. So I'm inside a project the student has made that he's going to cut out of wood, but it'd be really useful to be able to test to make sure certain holes and stuff were ready for printing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new sketch on the top surface. I'm now going to look at that surface, and I'm going to draw a bounding box around the thing I want to test. And in this case, I'm going to test the neck slot. Now I'm going to make sure that I fully surround the piece. So I'm going to pull this here, and I'm going to set some dimensions just so I have a certain wall thickness. I'm going to go from here to here to be 0.1, and that's a reasonable thickness. Okay, Control Z. What's wrong? Okay, I'm going to redraw that thing because apparently it picked up connecting with something else. So I'm going to try that again. Okay, I'm going to dimension from this wall to be 0.1. I'm going to drag it back out to cover this area. Again, dimension from here to here. Okay, Control Z. Going to dimension from here to here. Dimension from here to, I'm going to pick up a point here. That's a little safer. 0.1, just so big enough. I'm going to grab the bottom and pull this above that. I may not be able to dimension here, but I'll try it. Yep. Let's go 0.1. So now I have a box that encompasses my piece. I make sure this piece is not bigger than 8 inches. It's not. I'm now going to finish that sketch. I'm going to extrude. And this time I'm going to do what's called a intersection. So I'm going to intersect this with this shape. And I'm going to make sure I cut down far enough so I actually get into the thing. So right now 1 inch. I'm going to go 1.1. That should tell me if the piece fits. I now have just the pocket. I'm now going to right click. I'm going to export this. And I'm going to change it to neck test. So that's going to save. Now, I don't want to save this, so I'm going to right click. And I'm going to suppress this feature. That way, this is kind of turned off. And I'm going to delete this. This is an old sketch. And I can turn visibility on that sketch so I don't have to look at it. He's just there for when I do need it. Okay, that calls wrong. I'm going to turn visibility that sketch, turn visibility that sketch. So now, this is hiding. But if I need to come back to it, I can always come back to that and retest it by taking and right-clicking on him and unsuppressing him. Now I can test that if I make a modification. And I can make a test print for any given part. And it's good to separate those out to each piece one at a time. That way, once I go to Prusa Slicer, I'm going to make sure we're in the single printer. I'm going to hit the Add button. I'm going to grab the STL file I just downloaded. And let me just double check. In here, when I export, I want to make sure I pick STL. I like text. We want to make sure the units are millimeter and the resolution is fine. This will be an hour and 10-minute print. I'd probably run it at 0.3 millimeters. And once this printed, it will be dimensionally accurate. I can test to make sure the neck piece fits nicely. If it doesn't, I can go adjust my model until it does. That way, when we cut it in wood, we'll be all set.